Light your torches and sharpen those pitchforks, folks, because we're going to discuss why I think Lost Ark might fail in North America. Mickey Rooney once said that you'll always pass failure on your way to success, and I don't think truer words have been spoken to encapsulate what the MMORPG genre is. But what is failure and how do we measure it? Well, the Oxford Dictionary defines failure as a lack of success. All right, but what defines success? Would you consider Belle Delphine making 1.2 million by selling her used bathwater a success? Do we then also have to consider that EA's launch of Anthem grossing over 100 million in sales a success? I don't believe so, because success is measured by one's own set expectations. From a developer and publisher standpoint, Smilegate, Tripod, and Amazon Gaming Studios all stand to make a sizable return on their investment by launching Lost Ark in NA, EU, as well as 32 other countries. So if these companies all stand to make a return on their investment, then why might this game quote-unquote fail? Simply put, player expectations and perceptions. Before I continue, I want to caveat this video with saying this is not me trash talking Lost Ark. I do not want this game to fail. On the contrary, I want Lost Ark to succeed, and I include suggestions at the end on how I think Lost Ark can overcome some of these hurdles it faces. Frankly, it's fantastic. Since I started playing 3 weeks ago, I haven't even touched or thought about another game. I'm having an absolute blast, and regardless of how it performs in North America, I will continue to play it. Now, with that being said, let's get into the thick of it. The way I see it, Lost Ark coming to North America has 3 extremely large hurdles to overcome, with the first hurdle being player perception. Anyone even remotely invested into the gaming community is familiar with the term pay to win, or even more so Americans' reluctance to adopt pay to win games as a staple in their sphere. And while I honestly believe Lost Ark is not pay to win, its monetization model is based around an in-game cash shop that offers cosmetics as well as pay for convenience or pay for fast services. Additionally, this is a Korean MMORPG, and whether you like it or not, a precedent and perception for Korean games being pay to win has already been set in North America. An example of this would be the game Black Desert Online, which from a monetary standpoint has been wildly successful. However, extremely criticized and largely disliked by the North American community for its pay to win features, such as at one point being able to hide your own name in PvP by just purchasing a skin from their store for $20, or by currently being able to get pin armor and weapons, which is the highest level upgrade in the game, by literally just swiping your credit card. Right or wrong, purchasable features that Lost Ark offers, such as character boost to max level, or legendary skins offering 4% more stats in PvE, both of which are obtainable just by exchanging your gold for in-game store currency, are lumped into a category of pay to win, largely based on pre-established perceptions of Eastern games. The second hurdle they'll need to overcome in North American market is the game being an MMO. Specifically an MMORPG. Again, the player's perception is that MMORPG genre is dead. People perceive the genre to be one that is stagnant and requires a high time investment to succeed or progress, both of which are not entirely wrong. MMOs are extremely expensive and take a long time to create. It's a huge investment and gamble to create an MMO, and if a gaming studio decides to take that gamble, they typically don't stray too far from the cookie cutter theme park designs we've become used to seeing. This is because by following the same copy-paste recipe, they already know what they'll get in return for their investment. And at the end of the day, they're a business first. So while Lost Ark coming to NA may entice some of the already dwindling active MMORPG fanboys and girls out there, capturing the attention of new players that are not already a fan of the genre is going to be much, much harder. This problem is exacerbated by the fact that the gameplay loop and visuals from an outsider's perspective are largely the same as games like Path of Exile or Diablo, both of which already dominate the ARPG genre. Lost Ark's whole shtick is that it's similar to these games, but adds an MMO element to it. While this is brilliantly executed by the developers, they're still subject to the same pitfalls that games like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, or RuneScape have, which is they all struggle obtaining new players not already fans of the genre. Lastly, player accessibility. According to a study done by the National Purchase Diary Panel, or NPD group for short, they found that 67% of the US population, 211.2 million people, play video games. Of that 67%, only 35% are PC gamers, or roughly 74 million. The remaining 65% of people listed themselves as either mobile or console players. This means that by Lost Ark being PC exclusive, they inherently lose access to 137 million US players. Regardless of your opinion, the growing popularity and dominance of consoles, and more specifically mobile gaming, is irrefutable. While making a PC exclusive game is not a new concept or one that is completely damning to the developer, it is definitely an example of another huge hurdle that the game will need to overcome in order to successfully break into the North American market. Thankfully, however, things are not all doom and gloom, and I have a few suggestions as to what I think the developers and publishers can do to combat some of these hurdles. 1. They need to clearly and concisely confront the perception of pay-to-win mechanics in their game. Do not leave this up to content creators to discuss or defend you. You need to get ahead of this, as the average player will not see or hear these opinions. If your game is not pay-to-win, address that is not pay-to-win by giving an in-depth description of what players can expect to get out of the cash shop. If there are auras or buffs that are obtainable by playing the actual game and not just through swiping your mother's credit card, tell them how it is obtainable by playing the game. Give players a clearer understanding on the benefits of paying real money for the game versus playing completely free. Do not list multiple store currencies and say how you can buy them with each other, but not clearly explain how and why they are obtained or segregated. This really confuses consumers and breeds doubt. Transparency is key here. 2. More clearly explain to players as to why your game is different and what it has to offer. As we mentioned before, the MMORPG genre is not in a good place in the court of public opinion. To help combat this, lean into the aspect of what makes your game stand out and why people should play it. This game's class identity and many in-depth and challenging boss encounters, as well as the difficult, engaging PvP, should be the pillars and forefront of your marketing strategy. Share with players that your game is not only for the hardcore enthusiasts, but is also casually friendly and features tons of collectibles and achievement content. Additionally, provide prospective players with a roadmap of your content for the game. The NAEU launch is going to be the original Tier 1 content, while Russia, Japan, and Korea are all on Tier 3 with newer bosses, classes, and features. Let players know what and when to expect these updates as soon as possible. Lastly, and arguably the most polarizing suggestion I have, port the game to console and or mobile. Now, feel free to fire away in the comment section below telling me why it's a terrible idea, but hear me out. We already discussed that 137 million people in the United States alone are console or mobile players. Include them into the community. Increase your reach on these platforms and you'll see a greater reach in the PC community as well. It's a one hand washes the other type of situation. The more mobile and console players playing your game, the more content made about your game, more people talking about your game, and ultimately, more people trying your game. So there you have it, folks. The hurdles that I think Lost Ark must overcome in order to not fail in the North American market. If you like the video, please hit the like button and help the YouTube algorithm do its thing. If you don't like the video and want to hit the dislike button, that's okay too. Additionally, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more news, reviews, playthroughs, and guides. It is absolutely 100% free and is a great way to make my day, as well as stay updated on all future content. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, peace.